What's up, guys? Emmanuel Jones here. We back in with another NFL record prediction. And this time we'll be doing to Miami Dolphins record prediction for the 2023 season. And I also want to say what's going on to the Miami Dolphins fans. I'm going to be predicting your record, give you my game-by-game analysis to see how many games I think the Dolphins will win and how many games I think the Dolphins are going to lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the Miami Dolphins for the 2023 NFL season, don't forget to put a thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who you think's gonna how well you think the Dolphins are gonna be. Do you think they're gonna be good? Like, do you think they're gonna make the playoffs or win the division, or you think they're gonna like miss out on the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. All right, so let's get started here. So week 1, they have to play on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this is a game where I think Miami can definitely win because the Chargers, defense is really not good against the run. But here's the thing. Miami has to go across the country to play a West Coast team in LA, which is not really which is not a good place. It's a tough place to play at because all the LA fans are going to be there and all that. Because I remember this game from last year that the Chargers had beat them. But now Miami could definitely want revenge on that because the Chargers beat them last year. But if this game is in Miami, I might lean towards the Dolphins here. Given that the Dolphins are going on the road playing against a California team, going against the Chargers, which they have to go west. So, by the way, I think it will be close though than it was last time. But I'm going to go with the Chargers here because I just think I just kind of really feel that the Chargers, are just like they are built to beat the Dolphins because here's the thing. They can match up well with the Dolphins pretty good. And it is a bad matchup for them because here's the thing. The Chargers have a good pass rush and a good secondary. And I think they'll have answers for their running game and their passing attack. Like, I think they have a good enough secondary to handle business against the Dolphins. They have a good offensive line, a good defensive line that can really get pressure on the quarterback. And, they can give Tua some fits. They're gonna find a way to at least confuse Tua again. Brandon Stanley's gonna put up a good game plan like he did last time. And on top of that, they have a good offensive line that can really control their pass rush. And I think they can do enough on defense. They can do enough on offense to move the ball against the Dolphins. Because I feel like the Dolphins defense is overrated. So I think they can do enough to move the ball against them. And on top of that, they're gonna have answers for their blitzes and all that. So yeah. And on top of that, the Chargers are at home and they have the better quarterback. So yeah. That's why I got the Chargers winning this game, but it will be close. Now, next game, week 2, they got to play Sunday night game against the Patriots, which is another road game, which I think I got them losing again, which they're on the road because they're playing against the Patriots. Now, the reason why I got them losing to the Patriots on the road is because Belichick has owned the Dolphins, and on top of that, the Patriots match up well with the Dolphins pretty good because here's the thing. They have a good defense that can really slow down their offense. They have a good secondary that can handle business against Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And then they have a good pass rush that can really dominate their offensive line in Miami because I feel like Miami's old line is pretty overrated. So they're going to have answers for their running game and their passing attack. And they're going to have answers for their blitzes too on offense. They can do enough to move the ball against their defense. So I think Mac Jones can put up a show here. So I think the Patriots win this game. But now week 3, they have to play at home versus Denver. Now, this is where, so they're 0-2 right now, which are not looking good. But I think week 3, they play against the Denver Broncos. Now, I think this is where they pick up their first win of the season. Because here's the thing. I just kind of really feel like Miami's are just a more complete team. They're at home. And, they have the better quarterback, to be honest. I kind of really feel like, in my opinion, I think Tua is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. because I just don't trust Russell Wilson right now. I just kind of feel like Russell Wilson is too inconsistent. They're going to be dealing with some learning curves because they have a new coaching staff and Sean Payton. I mean, the offensive line did improve a little bit, but it's still not great. The defense is okay, but a little bit overrated. So I kind of feel like Miami can do enough offensively to move the ball against them. They have a good enough offensive line that can really like control their pass rush. And they're gonna have answers for the blitzes for their blitzes, and I kind of feel like the Dolphins defense is really good, especially. So I think their defense, they do have the talent on defense to at least slow down the Broncos running game and their passing attack. So they're gonna have answers for their running game and their passing attack, because I feel like the Broncos receivers are a little bit overrated. So yeah, I feel like Vic Fangio's gonna put up a good game plan against the Broncos, because this is definitely the Vic Fangio revenge game. I think he knows the Broncos pretty well, and I think he's gonna find a way to confuse Russell Wilson. And this is also going to be the Bradley Chubb revenge game as well. I think this is a game where I think the Dolphins pass rush does exist in this game, where I think they can get pressure on Denver and give Russell Wilson a tough time. But I kind of really feel like I feel like this game, I wouldn't be shocked they kept this game close, but I think if they keep this game close, I think as long as Russell Wilson isn't playing bad, I think they keep it close. But I think they will keep it close to time, more like a defensive game, because Denver struggles to score a lot of points. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a defensive game, and it will be closer, but I think Miami wins this game at home, especially Denver is going across the country playing against, you have to go to the East Coast and play, Miami. So yeah, it's going to be hot there. Sometimes Russell Wilson, he's not used to those environments, so Dolphins should have success here at home winning this game. So that leads to 1-2. But week 4, they got to play on the road versus the Bills. I think they lose this. I got them splitting with the Bills. So I actually got them losing this game on the road, because, the Miami always struggles in Buffalo because Tua's, he's not used to that environment. So, yeah, but here's the thing. Because Miami played them really, really tough, though, on the road a little bit, and they still lost. And I kind of remember that playoff game where, Miami wasn't looking good, and they nearly came back on the Bills. But I think the Bills win this game at home because they have a better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home, and I just think they're a better team. And they have the better defense. So I think they match up well with the Dolphins pretty good. But I think this game is definitely going to be closer. I mean, as long as Tua's not playing bad, then I think they keep it close. But I think the Bills win this game at home. So that leads to 1-3 right here. But now, this is when things get a little bit trickier, a little bit. Week 5, they have to play at home against the Giants. I think the Dolphins win this game here. I mean, I think the Giants are going to be a decent team, but I think Miami wins this game because I think Miami, I think they can do enough on defense to, at least, slow down the Giants' offense. I think Vic Fangio is going to put up a good game plan to, confuse Daniel Jones. I think the Dolphins have a pretty good enough amount of pass rush that can really, slow down the Giants' offense. They're in the running game, and their secondary is pretty good, which I think they'll find their matchup for the Giants receivers. But the only thing that's kind of tricky, though, that they're going to have to put up a good game plan for Darren Waller. They got to find a way to, at least shut down Waller, because if Darren Waller, if they don't shut him down, he's probably going to get open. So, yeah. So, I think they're going to have to at least, find a way to shut down Waller. So, I think the Dolphins find a way to win this game here at home. So, yeah, and I think their offense can do enough against the Giants' defense to at least, move the ball on them. They're going to have answers for the blitzes. The Dolphins are going to have answers on defense for their running game and their passing game as well, because the Giants don't really have any good receivers, though. Their receivers are good, but not great, so I think the Dolphins can dictate that and take control of that. So, yeah, I feel like this game will be close, but I think the Dolphins win this game, but barely. So, that's 2-3. Now, next game, week 6, they have to play at home against the Carolina Panthers. This is a game that they should win because the Dolphins, I kind of feel like there's the more complete team. I mean, the Carolina Panthers probably might be decent this year. I mean, their team's pretty young. Their defense is young and pretty good. It's very fast. Offense is pretty good. But the one thing I don't really trust is the rookie quarterback on the road. I don't trust a rookie quarterback on the road against that good of a defense of Miami. So I think Vic Fangio is going to find a way to have a good game plan against Bryce Young to confuse him, the rookie. And I think they can do enough, on defense to slow down the Panthers' running game. They have a good secondary that's going to have answers for their passing attack. They can slow down the running game. And then, Dolphins can do enough on the offensive line to control the Panthers' pass rush. So maybe they can finally just slow down their pass rush. So yeah. So I think Tua against that young secondary in the Panthers, I think Tua can do enough on offense. The Dolphins can do enough on offense as well to do that. So I think they can. So I think that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle can be enough here. I don't think Carolina's gonna have an answer for that. So I think the Dolphins win this game, but I think it will be close than we expected. So there's 3-3 right here. Now week 7 they have to play at home they have to play on the road versus Philly. Now this is a Sunday night game. If this game is in Miami, I would go with the Dolphins. But since this game is in Philly, I'm gonna take the Eagles because I just think the Eagles are just a more complete team. They have the better. Now this is 2 Alabama quarterbacks playing against each other as well. So I'm taking the Eagles to win this game because they have a better quarterback. They're at home, better coaching staff. I just think they're a more complete team. So, yeah, I think Philly should win this game. I think they should be able to match up well the Dolphins pretty good on paper. They have the answers on defense to slow down the Dolphins' passing attack and their running game. They're going to have answers for the running game and the passing attack. So I feel like that their corners, but their secondary is going to have to do a good job, shutting down Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Maybe force Tua to hold on to the ball, force them to run the ball and all that. So, yeah. They can do that. And I feel like they can do enough on the offensive line to control the Dolphins' pass rush. So, yeah. So, the Eagles are going to have answers for your blitzes and all that. So, yeah, because Jalen Hurts, he's good against the blitz. So, they're going to have answers for it. So, yeah. So, I think this game will be closer. Maybe more like a shootout or a defensive game. But I think the Eagles win this game. So, that's 3-4 right now. Then, week 8, they have to play at home against the New England Patriots. Now, I think they do bounce back and win this game. They split the Patrons. So that leads to 4-4. Now I kind of feel like the reason why I got the Dolphins beating the Patrons is because, the Patrons always struggle in Miami though. Because like I always said a couple years ago, Miami is a tricky place to play at because sometimes it's hot there and the temperature is hot. And the Patrons are not used to that environment. So yeah, that's pretty much why I think, the Dolphins, get this win here. So that leads you to 4-4. But next game, week 10, this is a good one. They have to play on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this game is in Germany, though, not in Kansas City. But I think this game can definitely go either way, though, because some people are picking the Dolphins to win this game due to the Tyreek Hill revenge game. This could definitely be the Tyreek Hill revenge game, though. Which that's going to be awesome, though. But I kind of feel that I wouldn't be surprised they pull up the upset. I mean, the only way they can beat the Chiefs is that they can at least control time possession, keep Mahomes on the sidelines and all that. And that will probably give them a chance to win the game. But Kansas City is going to pretend like Germany is going to be their stadium. So since this game is in Germany and Kansas City's in their stadium, though, I'm going to take the Chiefs because I just think the Chiefs are just the more complete team. They have better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home. And I can really feel like that, Steve Spagnuolo is going to have a good game plan against this Dolphins offense. He's going to, find a way to at least, he's going to have a good game plan. They need to find a way to at least, shut down Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They're going to have to find a way to do that. Because if they don't, then they're going to run all over them. Because the Chiefs' defense might get ran on due to the fact that the Dolphins have an explosive offense. But I just kind of really feel like that the Chiefs can do it. I just kind of feel like the Dolphins' defense, I don't think they're going to do enough here. I don't think they're going to have answers for the Chiefs' offense like Travis Kelce and those other receivers that the Chiefs had, because the Chiefs, they have a good offensive line that can really like spread their defense out. So they can spread their secondary out and their defense out and their pass rush out. So they can be able to at least control that. And I just kind of feel like Mahomes is just going to be too much for your defense. So I think the Chiefs find a way to win this game by control of time possession, controlling the clock, and put them in a good field position to win. But the Dolphins could definitely give Mahomes a tough time where Vic Fangio can confuse Mahomes, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Spike Noll is going to confuse Tua in this game. So, yeah, I think it will be close. It could be a high-scoring game in the shootout, but I think the Chiefs find a way to win that game. Now, that's 4 and 5, so that leads towards the bye week. In the bye week, they got extra time to prepare and watch film. If your players are injured, they can get rested, though, because they have extra week to rest because it's a bye week. And then they have now the next game, week 11, after the bye, they have to play at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. This is going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be fun. It can definitely go either way, though. But if this game was in Las Vegas, I might lean towards the Raiders here. But given that this game's in Miami and the Raiders are coming in town, I actually got the Dolphins bouncing back and winning this game. Because I just don't really think that the Raiders have the answers defensively to at least slow down Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like the Raiders defense, I just don't have faith in the Raiders defense to win this. I just don't have a lot of faith in the Raiders defense to win this game, because I just kind of feel like their defense is just atrocious. So they don't have any corners that can cover those receivers. I think Tua, he should be able to pick apart that Raiders defense. He should have a good game here. They should be able to move the ball against them. So, yeah. And then I feel like they have a better defense because I think Vic Fangio, he's been having a little bit of success against the Raiders, but not really late recently. So I think Vic Fangio's going to put up a good game plan against the Raiders. He's going to find a way to confuse Jimmy Garoppolo and all that. He's going to find a way to at least maybe force the Raiders to run the ball. I kind of feel like that they're the defense is going to have answers for their passing game. They're going to have answers for the running game. So I think they can find a way to at least slow down Jacobs, and then maybe slow down Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow. Maybe with the corners that Miami has, they can find a way to at least play one-on-one matches against Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow, and maybe the Raiders tight ends and all that. So, yeah. So I kind of feel like that the Dolphins match up well with the Raiders pretty good. Especially the Raiders don't really play well in Miami because they're going towards the East Coast. We know that and we know how hot it is going to be. And Raiders are not used to that environment. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins win this game. But I think it will be close. But I think the Dolphins can win this game. Maybe they win by a touchdown or a field goal. Maybe they win by a defensive stop or something like that. And on top of that, the Dolphins are at home, and I just think they're just a more complete team. So, yeah. So I think the Dolphins win this game. But so, yeah. So that leads to 5 and 5, I believe. Let's look at the record. So that leads to 5 and 5, which is not looking pretty bad. And then week 12, they have to play on the road versus the Jets on Black Friday. I actually got them splitting with the Jets. So, by the way, I got them losing to the Jets on the road because Aaron Rodgers is there. And, last year, they played the Dolphins pretty tough because especially with a backup quarterback, they won with a backup quarterback. Because I think the Jets match up well with the Dolphins pretty good because they have the answers on defense to at least slow down the Dolphins offense. They're going to have answers for their passing attack and the receivers of the Dolphins. They're going to have answers for their run game because I don't really know if their run game exists. So I think the Jets defensive line can do enough to at least like dictate the pace and give Tua some fits. And then I think the Jets can do enough offensively to at least like spread your defense out. I think Aaron Rodgers might be too much. I kind of really feel like Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be too much for your defense. And I just kind of really feel like, they have a good offensive and defensive line, though. I think their defensive line can definitely find a way to slow down the run. And I think their offensive line can control their pass rush. So I feel like Hack is going to put up a good game plan against your defense. So, yeah. But it will be close, but I think the Jets win this game. So that leads to 5-6, not looking good. Now, next game, they have to go on the road versus Washington. Now, this is another game that can go either way, though, because Washington has a good defensive line. They have good skill group on offense. They can definitely give the Dolphins offense a tough time, and they can give their defense a tough time. But even though this game's in Washington, I don't think it matters, though. I think Washington could look to be the worst team in the league because I don't think the Washington Commanders are that good. So I'm going with the Dolphins here because I think the Dolphins are just a more complete team and have the better quarterback and better coaching. So, yeah. And I just don't have faith in Washington right now. I think their coaching staff is pretty bad. And I don't really know who the quarterback is going to be. Whether it's going to be Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I wouldn't trust a rookie quarterback, especially against a good defense like the Dolphins. I think that Vic Fangio is going to have a good game plan against the Commanders' offense. I think he finds a way to like confuse a young quarterback like Sam Howell. I think he confuses Sam Howell in this game. So, yeah, and especially, I don't think Washington's secondary is that good, but it's pretty young. So, I think Miami can probably, I don't really think Washington has the answers on the secondary to at least, slow down the Dolphins' offense. I don't think they're going to do enough to, slow down Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So, I think they're going to be too much for the secondary of Washington to handle. So, yeah. And I think their defense can do enough here to slow down the running game and, to dictate pace. And I think their secondary will find their matches against Commanders receivers. So I think they can do enough in the secondary to at least slow them down and probably get some pressure on them. So yeah. They can force them to run the ball and all that. So yeah. So I think Miami wins this game on the road. But I wouldn't be shocked they kept this game close. But I think Miami's going to win this game. But I think they're going to win by a lot. So that leads you to the record of 6-6. Okay, not bad. The next game they have to play against the Tennessee Titans. Now this is on a Monday night game. If this game's in Tennessee, I might go with the Titans here. But given that this game's in Miami, I'm taking the Dolphins here because I just think they're just a more complete team and have the better quarterback. And they have a better receiving core as well. And I mean, I don't think the Titans are going to be pretty good this year. I think they're going to take a step back this year. I don't know who the quarterback for the Titans is going to be. Whether it's going to be Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, or Will Levis. But if it's a rookie or a young quarterback, I wouldn't trust them on the road to win, especially against that good of a defense. I think Vic Fangio, he's going to put up a good game plan against the Titans. He's going to find a way to, confuse the rookie. He can confuse which playing quarterback for the Titans, whether it's going to be a rookie or a young quarterback, something like that, a second-year quarterback or Ryan Tannehill. But I think, they have a good enough secondary that can really give the Titans, receivers some problem. I feel like the Dolphins are going to give the Titans defense, going to give the Titans offense some issues. And I think they can do enough to slow down the run. They're going to have answers for the run game and their passing attack because I kind of feel like the Titans receiving core is a little bit naked. So, yeah, and I feel like their offensive line is pretty good enough, which I think they can find a way to, control the Titans' pass rush. And they don't really have any core. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins, I don't really think the Titans are going to do enough on defense to slow down the Dolphins' pass-catching group. So, yeah, I think this game's going to be close, but I think it's going to be more of a low-scoring game. So, I think the Dolphins win this game. So, yeah, so that leads to 7-6. And then Week 15, they have to play against the Jets at home. They split with them, so I give them a win here because, they're at home. Aaron Rodgers, he's used to the environment, though. But I just kind of really feel like that, Miami's going to win this game at home because I don't believe they're going to get swept by the Jets. So that leads you to let's look. So now they're on a 3-game winning streak. So that kind of leads you to 8-6, which is not bad at all. So you're getting their season on the line. So you could be making the playoffs. Now next game, week 16, they have to play the Dallas Cowboys. Now this is a tricky game right here. This can definitely go either way because literally though, I call this a trap game. We got to be more careful with this game because this could definitely be a trap game because Dallas is a tricky team though because they have a good defense. I mean, they did improve their corner position and their offense is pretty good with weapons. I mean, they can definitely give the Dolphins some issues. But I don't really know. I think this is a game where Miami can definitely give Dallas some issues. I don't really know. You know what? I'm gonna go come back to that one and think about that for a second. So week 17, they have to play against the Ravens. I got the Ravens win this game. Ravens kind of really want that revenge from last year because literally though they blew that league though because the Dolphins came back on them, and I don't really expect that to happen again. Now, I just kind of really thought the Ravens are just a more complete team and have the better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home and have a better defense. I think they can do enough on offense to at least move the ball against your defense. They're going to have answers for the blitzes. And I just kind of feel like their offensive line is pretty solid, which I think they can control their pass rush. And defensively, I think they can find a way to give the Dolphins offensive issues. They can slow down the running game. They'll have answers for the run game. The secondary is going to have answers for the passing game, like for their passing attack. So, yeah. So, I think they're going to find their matchups against the Dolphins offense. So, I think the Ravens win. But I think it will be closer than last time. But I think the Ravens win this game. And then finally, last game, week 18, they play against the Bills. Now, some people are saying that they're probably that the Bills are going to sweep them because like they always do. But I don't think it's going to happen, though. I'm going to say they just split with the Bills. I'm going to say they win the last game of the season and beat the Bills because, sometimes the Bills, lose games like this. Because sometimes the Bills, lose games like this on the road against that good of a team like Miami. And because last year they struggled in Miami. I mean, this game was close, but they struggled to beat them. So I think Miami wins this game at home. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, by the way, your record could be 9-7 right now. So, I got to look. So, by the way, they're 9-7 right now. So, maybe if I give them a win against the Cowboys, maybe that gets them in. But if I give them a loss, I don't think it will happen. But I don't know. I can definitely change my mind at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to say I don't think Miami can match up well. The Cowboys pretty good on paper because I think, the Cowboys, have a good defense. And so do the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, can put up a good game plan against the Cowboys offense. I think the Cowboys can win this game here on the road. But given that this game's in Miami and Dallas coming to town, I don't think it matters, though. I'm just going to go ahead and just say you beat the Cowboys because, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that Miami, is going to pull up the upset. Even though I think Dallas is a more complete team, have the better quarterback, better coaching staff, I just kind of feel like Miami is going to pull off the upset because I just kind of really feel like the Dolphins do have the corners to match up well with the Cowboys receivers. They have the pass rushes to slow down the Cowboys run game, and I think they can have answers for their passing attack and their running game. And I just kind of really feel like that Vic Fangio can definitely put up a good game plan to find a way how to confuse Dak. He can do that. And I think their offensive line is good enough where they can control the Cowboys' pass rush. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and just say I'm just going to take the Cowboys to win this game. I'm taking Dallas to win this game because I just think Dallas is a way more better team. They have a better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home. And, I mean, they're not at home. And I just think they're just a more complete team than Miami. Because I just kind of really feel like that, that Dallas is going to do enough, to I kind of feel like their defense is really fast, and I think they're going to do enough to slow down the Dolphins' rushing attack. They're going to have answers for the run game and their passing attack. I think their secondary is going to find their matchups for the Dolphins. I just kind of have a feeling that the Cowboys, they're going to at least have answers. They're going to have answers, for their passing attack and their run game. Because Dolphins, sometimes their running game kind of doesn't exist. So I think Dallas defensive line can take care of business and probably, take care of control the line of scrimmage, give Tua some fits and all that. I think Dan Quinn can put up a good game plan against him. He'll find a way to confuse Tua. And I think their secondary can find a way to cover the Dolphins receivers. So I think this game right here could definitely be a defensive game. It could be ugly, and I think it will be close. But I'm just going to say the Cowboys win this game at home. So as of right now, I have the Dolphins going 9-8, which that's kind of tricky. I got them going 9-8 for some reason. I mean, 3-3 in the division, 6-6 in the conference, 8-1 at home, 1-7 away. I got them going 9-8. Now, the reason why I just got them going 9-8 is because I just kind of have questions about the conference and their division. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the Dolphins winning one or two more games. I mean, winning one or two more games can definitely get them in the playoffs. But I don't know, man. I mean, when you look at the schedule, it's pretty tough because the Dolphins, the schedule is pretty tough though. Because when you look at the schedule, it's pretty difficult because they have to play the Chargers, they play the Patriots twice, they play the Bills twice, they play the Eagles, they play the Chiefs, they play the Jets twice, they play the Cowboys, the Ravens. I mean, this is a difficult schedule for Miami. And Miami could definitely disappoint me though. But 9-8 should be good enough though. It could be good enough to make the playoffs, but I don't know. But I don't expect them doing any better than 10-7. Because 10-7 can definitely get them in the playoffs. Maybe, maybe not. But I think when you look in Miami, I think they're gonna miss out on the playoffs because due to a tough schedule. Because I think the Dolphins, despite their talent, I just think they're going to take a little bit of a step back this year. Because I think, we don't know how healthy Tua is going to be. Because if Tua, if he's not healthy, I think the Dolphins are probably going to miss out on the playoffs. And I just kind of have a feeling that, that as long as Tua stays healthy, I think they can at least, if he stays healthy for all 17 games, I think the Dolphins can at least win, Maybe they have a chance to win the division. Maybe they have a chance to make the playoffs. But I think if he misses a couple games, maybe they don't make the playoffs. So this is kind of a tough schedule, though. But I like what the Dolphins did this offseason. I think their defense did improve. I think it's going to be better than last year. Adding Jalen Ramsey, adding Deshaun Elliott, adding David Long. So I think their pass rush did improve enough. And the coaching did improve. Now, adding Vic Fangio to the coaching staff was a huge upgrade. I think the offensive line is going to improve by adding Isaiah Wynn. And I think the offensive talent with the weaponry is still the same, despite losing Gesicki. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins should be a good team, a little bit of a good team this year. I think 9 wins is about okay for me. But if I could definitely say if they can at least win one more game, I think they're in. But like I said, during this Cowboys game, I think we got to be careful with that game because that's a trap game. So yeah, so I feel like 9-8 could definitely is good enough to at least like, but it may not be good to make the playoffs. So I got them tied with the Patriots. So they're kind of like tied for like last or third place in division. They're tied last or third place in division. I had the Patriots at 9-8. I had the Jets coming in second, and I had the Bills winning the division. So that's how I see it. So yeah. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? I mean, just let me know in the comment section below what you think, how you feel about the Dolphins. So yeah. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.